You always late, son. That's just funny. You always late.
It's free agency, baby. What you want me to say?
Hey, y'all know what it is, man. It's the Swoop Boys. We got TK, aka King, affiliated Poppy, aka Rico, and we got a special treat for y'all. Y'all stay tuned. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Boy, you know how we do this. Smitty up the bill, Booby on the wheel. Jalen and AJ think how we put it still fight. Eagles, fight. Oh, you know we gon' do that. BG, big player, Bonte, Bradbury, pick 6 in the bag. Boy, sweaty on the line, flash down with him. Boy, the Kobe gon' get him, constant, hit him. Boy, and my dog big as my lot of switching names up. Should be Philly, got it sold up, bro. Why balls? Boys.
Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy. Y'all know what's good, y'all. Man, I need some spiritual. I need some connection through the web. I need something. What's up, y'all? Like, I feel like everybody's been dead. I feel like people are reaching, going and talking about Bijan Robinson going on a visit with Philadelphia and making a big scene. Gardner Johnson talking crazy, and his representatives. All I gotta say is they would never be my agent. But y'all know what's up, man. Y'all know what's up, man. This is Swoop. What's up, Swoop Squad? Y'all know what's up, man. We bringing that crazy content on Wednesday nights. Rico, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
Hey, man, it's a beautiful Wednesday night. I already told you I had a weird start to the day, but we got through it. We good. We here. And you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna tell you what. It might be because the Phillies were the only ones actually scoring home runs and hitting dingers in the World Baseball Classic for Team USA.
Right.
That's crazy, bro. And talk about a way to ended. But yeah, salute to those fellas right there.
I like how you're sipping on Blue Moon. I like that. Stay classy, my friend. Stay classy.
Well, so you know what's funny? I think Blue Moon, and we can talk about this a little bit because I feel like I like Blue Moon. It's enjoyable. It's a delicious brew. However, I feel like Blue Moon is like that first, like when you're young, you're drinking Natty Lights, you're drinking like Cobra, you're drinking the 211s, all the nasty.
But this is the thing though. Once it hits the lips, it keeps on going.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like the party just starts.
But I see like Blue Moon is like your first intro to not drinking dirtbag beers. Like you're like, here's a beer. It's good on the palate. It's delicious. But it's also not super incredibly expensive. You can get a 6-pack for about $9, and nowadays with inflation and all that. And here's a little life hack, everybody. Everybody knows that Blue Moon tastes better with an orange, and that's always good when you're at the bar. However, when I'm at home, I like to go ahead and just put a little bit of OJ in the red cup, and then I'll just pour it right into the bottleneck. I'm out here on my classy shit. We're here, baby. Swoop Boys, TK, New Era Capo, aka affiliated Poppy, the OG squad, man. I'm feeling it, bro. I'm feeling it, and we're gonna definitely get into some shit. Shout out to the super chat. We got Jordan in the building. You know what I'm saying? Cozy, I seen you in there. Vic, my boy, Devon. We're going to get to everybody in here. Holla at your boy Mark, the OG of OGs. What's good, my guy?
Most definitely.
That's how I'm feeling about it.
Most definitely. So, I don't know about you. I mean, everything's been going on Twitter, and this guest that we're about to bring up on, I known him for a while. We know each other for a while. He likes to grind my gears. He likes to put the palm to the face, say something crazy. But this is my guy right here. One of my I look up to him and his his partner in crime. They're like Batman and Robin, and y'all know what it is, man. Bell and the Birdman. We got that special Swoop Boy edition. I'm gonna drop that beat. We're gonna hit it just like this.
A man who
y'all know what it is
at all, but here he is.
Vince, what's going on, my guy?
What's going on, guys? How we doing?
Chilling, man.
Chilling, brother. How are you doing, man? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm like the energy. So that picture of me in the camo hoodie that you put up there in that last one,
yeah,
I was loaded in that picture. All right, and you know why? Here's why. Here's exactly. I want to walk you through exactly what happened when I took that picture. The Eagles had just won the NFC Championship game. And I took that picture and I sent it to Steve Trevelise, who is a diehard Giants fan. And that was the first thing I did as soon as the game ended. I was like, hey, Trev, how you doing, buddy? Bam. And I sent him that, and he got so pissed off. So I love that picture is in there. It's so good.
I think that picture perfectly describes how we all felt, like literally at that moment. Like,
hey. And that's the reason why I took that picture. I actually sent it to Vince. Vince like, bro, I was toasted in that one. I was like, this is great. This is great. I'm taking this. This is great. I'm taking this.
I'm front stage and I'm hammered.
he's at the concert with a tuxedo t-shirt.
And I'm hammered, baby.
I did have one of those. It's been a while and I ruined it, but yeah, I did.
I think the whole premise to the tuxedo t-shirt is so it does get ruined and you don't feel bad about it. So you're good there. You're good there.
I'm a mess in the right ways, I guess.
Hey,
as someone once told me at a bar on a very late night, I'm a golden piece of shit, and it's one of the best phrases I've ever heard, and it's a piece of information that has stuck with me since I have been about 22, and it will stay there.
Well, I'm happy to tell you you're a golden piece of shit anytime. So whatever you want to, just let me know.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Oh man, yo, that deserves a Kawhi laugh.
He's right there.
Yeah, the glasses. There you go. All right.
The ultimate first date laugh right there.
Oh man. So Vince, it's the dust has settled a little bit. We're coming off of a loss in the Super Bowl. Tell me step by step how do you process that loss, and how did it go, and how did you what are you doing to take the proper steps to get over it?
Oh man, I was a disaster right after the game. I was a mess. I mean, we did a post-game show live 20 minutes after the game. I was also hammered. So that's how I was doing then. But I mean, the biggest thing for me that I will not get over with this game, but in any way, shape, or form ever, is that the field was an ice hockey rink. It just wasn't. It wasn't a football field. And for all the people that spent all this time being like, oh, well, it's the same for both sides, Vince. Everybody played on the same field. The Eagles had the second highest sack total in NFL history. And you're going to tell me that it was equal for that defense, both sides, and the Chiefs. You all right? Is somebody getting abducted? What?
What was that?
I don't know what that was. That was weird. I don't know. Something's wrong with the sound. Can you hear me though?
It sounds like a futuristic toilet, which is where they should put that field. So it's crazy to me. It doesn't make we spent 2 years as a league that plays football games and they can't grow grass. What are we talking about? So I'll never be over that. I think they got screwed. I know they gave up. Every game has reasons you lose, right? In big games, you're going to highlight every single one. Quez, the stuff with the coverage, and Gannon, the way that he got beat up. But when you look at a defense like that, and they literally couldn't give you a play all game, right. I just don't know what to say other than that. It wasn't a real game. So have I gotten over it? No. I think that answers your question, Tip. I haven't fully gotten it over it yet. So the game itself, I don't think I'll ever get over the game itself. I'll say this though, with the team, is that that's the best roster. I don't care about the 2017 team. That's the best roster I've ever seen in my life in this town. I mean, that team was as good as it's ever been. And the fact that they get to bring so many guys back, that's the exciting thing, though, to me, is the team is crazy talented all across the board. There's so many good players, and they brought a lot of guys back. I didn't think all these guys would come back. Fletcher Cox is back. I thought there was no way he was coming back. Just because the money they spent at that position over the years, and okay, well, they go and they get Jordan Davis, Milton Williams can play. They get randos that fill in. I don't know. $10 million seems like a lot of money for a rotational defensive tackle. They went and did it. And if I believe all this voodoo that I've been seeing with the numbers, it actually lowered the dead money based on all the void years, which is like, that shouldn't happen. Like, Howie's just totally broken the system. And the fact that he can do stuff like this is nuts. So I'm getting over it in that way of just like, this team is so good. They're bringing so many of these guys back. The NFC still sucks, and they could get right back there this year.
Most definitely. Do you feel with all the players that came back for the purpose of let's run it back, or is it like, okay, there's the luck of the draw? This is Howie Roseman, the Wizard of. There's no such thing of cap when it comes to Howie Roseman, right?
No, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is he is so good at that. And I think John said this best the other day. It was just like, he's obsessed with the numbers, you know, and there's not many people that do that. People don't get into football to be obsessed with the numbers. You know, it's the least cool thing you could do. Everybody wants to be like, yeah, we're getting the guys with the big arm and all this crazy, like that's what it's all about, and winning games and whatever, the glory of it. But like, you know, the numbers, you can get whatever team you want. You can get all the great players you want, and that's what he does. So I just like, I love that. Honestly, I don't know how you guys feel, but I think that's his best quality. It's like, that's the team's best quality. The franchise's best quality is just how he knows how to work the numbers and do whatever the hell he wants.
I mean, like you hit it right on the head. Like I heard you guys say it on your show that we're in the Matrix right now. Like, and I think it was you. Was it you or John who said he's Neo the one? I'm gonna go ahead and say he's not Neo, bro. He's the guy that once you got to the third movie and Neo got to that weird room with all the TVs and he's like the guy pulling strings. That's fucking Howie right there, bro. Like, he's like, yeah, you guys are playing a different game than the rest of us.
So he came up to Jeffrey Lurie and said, "Red and blue, you live and you learn," right? Like one of them, like, you know what I mean? Like one of those, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, I definitely agree with you, Vince. Like, you know, with the whole numbers and salary cap and pushing the right buttons. Yes. And I'm going to say something right now. 2022, that roster is way better than the 2017 roster. The 2017 roster, I think it was just, we caught lightning in the bottle. You know what I mean? With Nick Foles at the helm, Alshon Jeffrey was balling out of control. You know, I mean, our defense let up like 400, 500 yards that game, but BG came to the rescue and got a sack when we needed the sack. And then, Derek Barnett, he's coming back. That's another subject nobody's even talking about, with Derek Barnett coming back. With that being said, though, and we went through, the slim pickings of who was coming back, James Bradbury. I mean, I don't know if you see the contract numbers. It's like $4 million, $3 million, and then all these incentives, right? Something crazy like that.
Oh, for Bradbury's deal?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I mean, the whole thing is low anyway, right? Like, the guy was an all-pro corner. He's at the back at, like, this is the last time he's going to make good money. Right. And he's making, what, like $12 million a year on average? Something like that. But, like, do you think it was more of, like, he wanted to come back because he loves Philadelphia, or was it like, because I mean, we all know there's a behind the scenes, there's a behind the curtains, Wizard of Oz. You want to see what's behind the curtains. But do you think with the whole situation with Darius Slay, which was super odd, because we wake up in the morning, we get this text message, the notification from Dan, Ian, all those guys, all the, your inside reporters, and they're sitting there saying, oh, well, Darius Slay is about to be released. The first thing in my mind, I'm like, no. Number one, the pudding is about to be. We ain't getting no more banana pudding. Shout out to Jennifer Slay. I've bodyguard from Jennifer Slay at the 4th of John. Shout out to the 4th of John. Also shout out to John Barcher. That's my guy. Y'all know what it is, man. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? But and then the second thing was like, damn, like, was that the window? Was that 1 year we had that window? We're not going to have Slay, because Slay brings that veteran leadership. He brings the swag. He brings something. Yes, he brings something that James doesn't do. James is the silent. James is silent. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this though, James did. I mean, they both had their ups and downs throughout the year. James will have a great game. Darius was playing possessed in that Minnesota game. I think you heard too many people talking about how, they said Jettis was gonna kill him and do all this.
he played crazy. He played out of his mind that game. But the whole back and forth with them two, and then they paired together and it clicked. And then, like, how did you feel about that? Like, do you feel like they were like, all right, James is like, hey, yo, I'm coming back. And then, Slay's like, hey, I'm about to leave because they don't want me here. They want to, they don't want to give me all my money all my guarantee money is gone. Do you think that has something to do with it? Be like, yo, we coming back like that?
Well, I think part of it is these guys want to come back. I think part of it is they don't want to move. Moving sucks, right? We've all moved. It's the worst thing ever.
Moving sucks.
I don't care how much money you got. Moving sucks. So that's part of it. And then, the other side of it, too, is I think really, like, I believe that they wanted CJ, and it didn't work with the agent. And they did overplay the hand, and you had this deadline of like, all right, we got to cut this guy at the start of free agency. We can't get a deal with CJ. We're just going to go back. We're going to change all this stuff that we were going to do. We're going to go in on Slay. And that's why it got so ugly, right? Like, you see all this stuff, man. I mean, the character assassination of CJ at this point where they're like, well, they think that if they gave him money, he might not have been the same. Like, the guy's been in the league for what, like 4 years? Get out of here. Like, this is all nonsense to try to win some sort of PR war. It's all BS to me. So, like, I think part of it is, though, for a lot of these guys, like, obviously BG and Cox and all, they wanted to come back. They wanted to stay. They've never been anywhere else. So I totally get that. For Bradbury, it's a great spot to be. You get to play the Giants a lot if that's part of the fuel for him. And
shout out to Boston Scott.
Of an athlete.
And one more year of Boston Scott, baby. Let's go. But, dude, they get all that stuff together. And then, like, for Slay, I think it's a great spot because, look, he can age gracefully, whether it's just for this year or if he extends after this. Like, he can age gracefully and be the 2, and there's no shame in that, right? Like, what's wrong with that?
And he said something along the lines of, "I want to retire as an Eagle." Like that means something.
I love that.
Rick,
no, I didn't hear that. I'm just saying I love that.
Oh yeah. He said he wanted to retire as an Eagle. Like, think about it. He played in Detroit for.
You're talking about Slay. I thought you meant Bradbury. Okay.
No. Same thing with Bradbury. Bradbury wanted to come back because he said he enjoyed Philadelphia and he wanted to retire. And I think the whole opposite of a track. You got the quiet guy, then you got the loud guy. You know what I mean? I think, and just shout out to Mark Bird for saying what he said. Slay is the glue of the secondary. With the CJ DJ thing, man. Bro, you talk about an emotional roller coaster, man. It's like one day I'm good, one day I'm not. Like, and how we try to prioritize him in the beginning of the free agency, and he just wanted something that was kind of crazy. Like, I get it, you want to take your $8 million versus the 17 or 24 million of what he was about to get for 3 years, but like, come on, man, let's make sense. Come on now, like I get it. You want your guaranteed money. You're going to get the 6.5 and then incentives and everything you got to do. But, dude, let's be honest with yourself. This is the first year you play safety. Number 2, you're kind of like a secondary weapon. You're in the nickel, and in times, bro, you missed a lot of tackles. And there was sometimes, and I get it, he was trying to begin the season. He looked lost in the secondary sometimes because he didn't know what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He just made plays because he had to make plays, right? The right place at the right time.
Sometimes, right? Yeah, the thing with CJ DJ, it's a very interesting subject, right? Like you just said, a lot of that stuff seemed like it was right place, right time. But I'm gonna tell you what, I think what people need to realize, it sucks that we're gonna have to go look for a safety. I do have somebody in mind that I think we can go ahead and pull the trigger on draft night. We'll get to it, don't worry. Yeah, however, can we talk about not only is Howie coming into his own as the numbers man, the magic man? Now you see me, now you don't. But he's also coming into it as like he's got some big balls, man. Like, he's not going to just go ahead and pay a guy just for the sake of saying, like, I got the deal done. Like, Howie's evolved. It's like I said, he's evolving right in front of our eyes. Like, he's not like getting punked by these agents. He's not out. He's like, this is the deal. I gave him I offered, for what we know is he offered him a fair deal that was going to be around what market was probably going to be for CJ DJ. By all means, go ahead. If you think you're going to get better, go look out there. But that deal, Howie had to make moves after that point. You couldn't, but you see all the moves that happened between when the actual free agency started to the point where CJ DJ actually signed his contract. So it's like you see all the stuff Howie did in the middle of all that. Had Howie sat on his hands, waited for this guy to potentially come back around and say, oh, no, I want to go with that deal that you offered me a week ago. Yesterday's price is not today's price. I'm sorry. Howie pulled that paper right from under the desk and said, This is what I got for you. You want it or not?
But this is the thing, though. His team overvaluated, and they knew they overvaluated. Like you over here thinking you're gonna get paid like Jesse Bates? Like you bugging. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Epps got paid $12 million for 2 years, right? I mean, the guaranteed salary is probably $8 million for the 2 years between the two, whatever I got to do. You know what I'm saying? He was not playing safety the entire time. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to understand where the teams, this is a business. And at the end of the day, they're going to put the business before you. Don't get it personal. And I think it definitely got personal with him when he said the whole thing with the disrespect. He also said, I mean, and this is another thing. I'm going to find out. When he got his car stolen, that just put a rip through everything.
I forgot about the car.
Somebody stole the Kia, son. I don't know if it was a push button start. I don't know what it was, but somebody stole my man's car, son. And yo, oh man,
I'm getting cooked. Hey, sorry, real quick, chat. The chat is. I want to go ahead and
the chat is booming.
The chat is booming. We see everything you guys are in there saying. You know, we usually get on. Today we have a combo. But Almighty, I see your ass in the chat too. We know Almighty's our resident Giants fan. He tunes in. He talks a lot of shit. And hey, look, at the end of the day, we ain't scared of y'all. You're gonna have that new Chinese tight end by week 6. He ain't gonna be on the field, baby. And Mark.
Don't tell
you're paying Daniel Jones, okay? You paid mediocrity big time bucks, and it's gonna doing that and paying a running back is just an absolute death sentence. What's the point?
It's the craziest thing, right? It's like all this speculate. Like, would you have respected them more if they would have signed Saquon to some kind of like 3 to 4 year deal and kept Daniel on the tag? I feel for me, like it's rough because he's a running back. But it's Daniel fucking Jones. Like,
better off paying Jimmy G.
Hey, well,
I honestly, for the contract that he got, he's getting paid nothing, essentially, when you look at the market. What's he making, like 25 a year? Who cares?
Yeah.
It's a
$20 million less than Daniel Jones per year.
And all this talk about contracts, bro, like, you have to feel Hurts' agents looking, when he saw the Daniel Jones deal come in and the Derek Carr deal, like, she's looking at it like, she's looking like Birdman
back up the
right
Brinks
now.
truck. Back up the Brinks truck. Like, just back it up.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, they finally had a good thing going. You look at the Giants, and like John was calling it all year. I'll give him credit. He's like, "Yeah, man, let me Brian Daboll, man. They're gonna do some things, man."
Yeah, for real. John was really on Daboll's like, yeah, Daboll's a good guy. He's the coach. They'll run through a wall for him. I had to give it to him. He was definitely right. Right.
I mean, he was right that Daboll's great, and they were doing some good moves. But then when they make decisions like that, none of it matters. You know what I mean? Like, they just put such a clear ceiling on that team, and it was dumb. You're gonna do all that for Daniel Jones? Like, for what?
For what? For what?
What is it? 160? 160, right?
Yo, yeah, I believe it's crazy money.
I wish I was Vanilla. I wish I had a nickname Vanilla Vic, and I got.
That's the craziest thing. That nickname.
That's what they called me in high school. That was.
Well, the thing is, like, I thought just outside looking in at the Giants organization, I thought the way they were running that kid through like all season, I thought they were just like, if he gets hurt, he gets hurt. Like,
that's what I thought too.
I thought they were surely going to move on after this season, and then because they had Daniel Jones running into like just the biggest men all season, and respect to him, he did it. He made a little bit of magic happen with those feet. But man, I thought they were like, if that kid gets broken, he gets broken. It doesn't matter. We're moving on next year anyway.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking, but they can keep them. All right. Who's going to stop them? Injuries, one. All those guys are hurt. So, yeah, like, what do you mean? But every doctor is gonna stop them and be like, listen, man, we can't put you, we can't clear you to. So, I mean, and same thing with your profile picture, which is Odell Beckham Jr. When did he last play for the Giants? What are we talking about, man? Come on, get out of here. Damn! Yeah, come on.
Almighty, you knew what it was when you came back.
Yo, facts. You got cooked on that.
That's when you should have played the Adrian, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Oh man. Hey Vince, I have a question, man.
Yeah.
And this is what we ask every guest. What made you a Philadelphia Eagle fan?
Man, there's so many things. I mean, first off, I just love football. Like it's just the biggest thing for me. I just love the league. I love the sport. I love all the shit around it, the way teams build differently and all the strategy. Yeah. Like I just love all of that. You know, I was such a Madden obsessive as a kid. Like I'm telling you, man, like I would get out. I knew exactly the day that the game was coming out. And as soon as I could, whether it was a school day or a weekend or whatever it was, as soon as I could, like I'd get on my bike at 8 a.m. and ride the GameStop and buy Madden and ride home, you know? And that's all I do all day. And I did that for months. So like, it's just what I did. So that kind of stuff was huge. And then the other thing too, which is so funny about Philly is like, I grew up in a Catholic household, went to church every Sunday, and I don't go to church every Sunday, dude. The pews were full of people in Eagles gear. You know what I mean? Like you might as well say go Birds instead of peace be with you. So like it was just so deep like that, and it was just everywhere. And so for me, like loving to play, and then you see it with everybody in your family and your friends in the neighborhood, and like in high school, you're all bullshitting about it. It's just like all these things together. It's just like and Philly loves it so much and cares about it so much that it just felt like it's just how you connect with people, you know? So I met so many great people that way. I met you guys this way. Like it's a great decision I ever made. Yeah. It's so cool how it all came together.
For sure. And then I got another question for you. And I guess I would say who's your favorite player, but we're gonna go to your Eagles Mountain Rushmore. Go ahead and put the names. Go ahead and put the faces up there as we architect and build up there. You got your 4 spots up there. So who's your Rushmore? Who is it?
All right, I'm gonna go era to era a little bit because are we doing franchise or just me, my personal 4?
This is your personal Mount Charleston. Sorry, I'm
right. Mount Charleston. There we go. So we're calling it Mount Charleston for me. I mean, number 1's Doc, man. Who are we kidding? Like Doc, the year that he had, childhood impact, all that kind of stuff. He was the absolute man. There were some times where I was able, like doing my old stuff. I was at certain events where he was there. Just always treats people well. Like that's one of the big things for me, right? Like for all these players for all the stuff that they do, to actually appreciate the fans and everything that they do and really love that and understand the energy. Like all that stuff is great. Doc is that guy. You got to give it to him. He's number 1. Number 2 right behind him is Kelsey. And for plenty of people, he's number 1, and I totally get it. Like for everything, it's just that I'm a little older as Kelsey's come around. I love everything that he's done. I mean, now he's got the podcast. He's just becoming a star in his own right. Like he's taken that level of NFL fandom and bringing it to a whole other level. So Kelsey's a bona fide legend. BG has to be on that. Everything early in his career, and the fact that he almost didn't make it, I think that's the stuff that really seals it. And probably seals it for him. I mean, he's always that guy, like in terms of the energy and the positivity and all that kind of stuff. But man, I mean, he saw how bad it was when things don't work out for you. And that's the fans getting on him, you know, talking about him as a bust and all the Earl Thomas stuff. And he got through all that. He understood all that. He's played his ass off, made big plays, talked shit on Tom Brady. I love him. I absolutely love the guy. So all those guys are on the list. And then it's tough, man. I mean, like, here's the weird thing for me. I want to say it's McNabb. I really do. Because, like, watching, I know.
No, it's not crazy. It's not crazy.
It's not crazy because Rico says it all the time.
We're going to talk about it. Go ahead.
Talk about it. Go ahead, talk about it.
McNabb was one of the most legitimately dynamic, amazing quarterbacks that you could watch. And the fact that he went to all those, 5 conference championship games? I mean, the level of disrespect for the guy is ridiculous as a player. Disrespect the guy all you want. And that's why I can't quite do it. You know, you can disrespect him all you want as a guy. But, man, dude, he won games on a broken ankle. Scrambling.
Come on, talk about it, Vince. Talk about it.
Stuff. It really is. And the Patriots cheated in the Super Bowl. So you put all that stuff together, and McNabb's got a hell of a case. I'm not going to put him on though, because the more I think about it, it's Brian Westbrook. Westbrook's my guy. Did everything, huge moments, the punt return that turned around the Eagles season. And when you think about all the stuff on that era, here's the thing for me, right? When you think about all the stuff that happened at that time when they won all those games, quarterbacks changed all the time because McNabb did get hurt, and then you've got all the Detmers and Garcia and whatever it is. But for all the different guys that played for that team, they won games when Westbrook played, and they didn't when he didn't. And that's the biggest thing for me. He just did everything. Undersized guy, local guy, a great story. And I just loved watching him play, and still has a presence today. I mean, he's still doing shows. He's still out and about with people. Like he's made a hell of a career for himself in everything you want from Philadelphia Eagles. So, yeah.
No, I mean, you can't even argue the Westbrook thing for what he means. And it's funny that you bring up the fact that he still does all that in the local area, which we know a lot of guys still do that in the Philadelphia area. What's funny is, because you always hear whenever they talk about like the Cowboys are like, oh, if you're a Cowboy, you can make a whole living just as long as you're in the Dallas area, you can do all these different things. Like, bro, so can the Eagles, retired Eagles. All right, bro. So you guys ain't special on that fact. But I gotta have. I'm coming with you, bro. I'm with you on the McNabb because how old are you, Vince?
Yeah, I'm 33.
Okay, so we're right there. I just turned 34 last year, so so every Sunday when we're coming up as kids and turning on football on Sunday, it's McNabb on prime time, and then bro, we're like 11, 12, right when, or 13, right when the 04 season's happening, where we're seeing the magic between him and T.O. It's like, and in my head, I'm like, this is the best TV I've ever seen. Like, there's no better football going on right now. We're going to look like this for the rest of my life. But yeah, McNabb, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. So it was so crazy to me a few years ago when McNabb came out and he got all that backlash for saying he should be in the Hall of Fame if what's his name, from the Cal Aikman. He said my numbers are better or right there with Aikman's numbers. So if Aikman's in there, aside from Super Bowl wins, I should be in the Hall of Fame as well, which I died on that hill. I died. My corpse is still laying there right now. If you guys want to go check and look, you should see some bones, some hefty-sized bones sitting right there. I died on that hill. I think McNabb should be in the Hall of Fame, bro. He did it. He was one of those guys back then.
No, for the time he was one of those guys. I mean, he was like a top, 5, 7, somewhere in that range QB a lot of the times. And here's the thing. Here's the thing for McNabb that's so interesting and so confusing at the same time is like he starts his career. He's a runner. He's got a huge arm, but accuracy was never really his thing. As he gets older, he changes the way that he plays. He wants to be in the pocket more. He's trying not to run as much. And like he makes this transition to his body and everything. And then by the time he gets to that late stage in his career and he leaves, he just falls off a cliff. Like he goes to Washington, and I get why you just give up in Washington, but he gave up in Washington. Time out.
If you guys don't know, our special guest, Vince Quinn, went to a Commanders versus Eagles game and wore a Washington Redskins McNabb jersey.
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was the most offensive thing I could wear. So I wanted to wear something that nobody would like, and that was it.
I had a bone to pick with him. When I seen him in Arizona, I said, Vince, you're my guy. I got a bone to pick with you. John was laughing the entire time. I said, don't you ever do that.
But
ever again.
What's the difference between that and then when all the Eagles fans had B-Doc jerseys when he went to the Broncos?
No, I was just giving Vince.
Yeah, no. Well, at least Dawkins was an actual player when he went to the Broncos. He made a Pro Bowl, if I remember.
Yes, he made it. Yeah.
McNabb was not a football player once he left, and that's ultimately the problem for him. Is like there's no reason that he couldn't have played till he was like 36, but he goes to Washington, he fails. He goes to Minnesota, he fails, and then he was gone.
I forgot about the Minnesota experience.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Jersey. It wasn't as good as the Cunningham experience when he went.
Oh God, bro! Cunningham went through so many teams. I mean, Cowboys, Minnesota. What else? He went through some teams for a while.
So it was Washington and Minnesota, and then I think he was done at that point. He just hung it up because part of it is he put on like a lot of weight, and there was stuff that he just wasn't.
Hey, that chunky suit put that lot of weight on.
Yeah,
or the beers or whatever.
It was rough, man. But that stuff hurts your legacy, and especially now. I mean, look at this whole generation of quarterbacks that is on the back end now with like Rodgers and Brady, right? It's just like Drew Brees playing until he's 42 and putting up all the numbers that he did. Like, there's so much competition now that he's going to get buried. Like, he's never going to make it now. That window's come and gone. I mean, guys like numbers wise, it's just his argument sucks now because so many guys have put up so many better numbers, right? Like, and they're guys that shouldn't be Hall of Famers.
I have a rebuttal for that.
Okay,
and it came out. Look, everybody loves a comeback story, right? I feel like McNabb's comeback kind of started because remember we really started ramping up the McNabb hate the past few years is when Carson was looking great. Like the time when Carson was good, McNabb was just like dancing on that man's grave before he got buried. Like he did not like Carson. However, he has embraced Hurts. They even did that whole special with him and Hurts and Vic. I feel like he shot. She's getting a little bail shot to him now because he likes Hurts. Him and Hurts kind of seem like they have a rapport. There's kind of a legacy build there now. I feel like McNabb might be trying to repair the character. You get a couple good little logs in the fire. It's possible. Anything's possible.
Well, I mean, but think about it though. Think about all the greats that come back to Philly either work. You got Trey, you got Barrett Brooks, you got who else? Like Hollis. I mean, Hollis is working now. Is with the people. He's with 4th and John. He's touching hands, and once you retire as an Eagle, we embrace you as an Eagle, and we love you. So I mean, like Michael Vick. I mean, T.O. went in the Hall of Fame as an Eagle.
That's ridiculous.
What's that? That was like, bro, what? You went as an Eagle?
The T.O. brainwashing that we've done to ourselves is ridiculous.
Hey,
that
listen,
guy came and left so fast, caused nothing but problems. Everybody wanted him dead. He goes to Dallas, talks all this crap. Everybody hates his guts. And then suddenly, since everyone hates McNabb so much, they've decided that they like T.O. It can be that they both suck. It's okay. It's okay to say it was an argument and we all lost. I mean, Winston Scholes was 4 years of our lives. It's an argument. We all lost. None of those guys can play. I don't know what we're talking. Like, I can never be a T.O. guy. And he was fun as hell for a while and whatever. But like, can I say T.O. great Eagle? And like, that guy could have played till he was 45 as a receiver and nobody wanted to deal with him. Like, there's just something to that. And I'm not a T.O. guy.
He played on a broken leg.
He played on a broken leg.
And then he did sit-ups in the driveway a year into a contract that he had just signed after begging to be here and blew the whole team apart. So, like, whose fault is it? You know what I mean? Like, some of it is him, and we've just rewritten the whole.
So to go off of that, are we not one McNabb, like how Jordan did the whole Last Dance thing? You're telling me if McNabb does, all right, this is how it goes. McNabb already did the little segment with Hurts and Vic. Now McNabb goes and does a 30 for 30. McNabb, Eagles, gets real heartfelt, makes himself real appealing to the fans. Yeah, I see it. You see the wheels are turning. Next thing you know, McNabb's at an Eagles game this season. He's cheering. The people come out. I'm telling you, he's throwing the logs in the fire. You see how this thing can pick up some momentum all of a sudden. McNabb,
because at the end of the day, everybody deserves their flowers, right?
Right.
The work you put in, everybody gets their comeback story. You know what I mean? You're no longer a has-been, right? Yeah. So I mean, look at MC Hammer. Look at the Cowboys. I mean, they still give. You know what I mean? And they haven't been good since Too Legit to Quit. You know what I'm saying? And West Coast versus East Coast rap was still hot. You know what I'm saying? And then they were battling. You know, like it's everybody gets their flowers due. I think with the whole Matt McNabb situation was just basically like, I want to tell my side of the story, and are people willing to listen?
To him, no.
He needs someone to come out and speak for him that the fans are sympathetic to, like. Because right now, I think the biggest mark on him is when the T.O. stuff is kind of whatever. Because like Vince said, the T.O. was kind of an anti-hero for Philadelphia when it's all said and done. Like, great year, yeah. Then you literally go to the Cowboys right after. It's like, what the hell are we talking about? So that is kind of crazy that we do hold him to such a high thing.
But nobody said that about Harold Carmichael. Nobody said that about,
How many years is Carmichael here?
Yeah, Carmichael, like.
He went to the Cowboys.
But also, doesn't Harold Carmichael hold like
basically? I mean, T.O. held the team hostage and then went to Dallas. Like,
that's true.
I mean, he was massaging Tony Romo's nutsack. Like, that's my quarterback. I love that.
Oh my God, the whole thing with him. And you know what was crazy though? With that year that those guys had all that talent, I thought they were going to do something. They had Terry Glenn, they had T.O., Barber, rest in peace. Felix Jones. They had a squad. And they still couldn't win.
Yeah, it's just Dallas, man. It's just typical. It's all Jerry, honestly. I want Jerry to be alive forever. Yeah, I want him to have the Infinity Stones. I want him to have the Infinity Stones to live forever.
Oh, Cole said
Jerry Jones is like a cartoon villain. He is. I mean, it's right on point with the Infinity Stones because it's always like, oh, it's this big bad thing, and they're winning all these games, and there's all these guys that we hate, and they're so close, and then it just falls apart. Like it just always falls apart. It's beautiful.
Shout out to Cowboys Cole. As you guys know, people, especially the people in comment, he made a bet with us. He basically said the Cowboys are going to have a better record than us and going to reach to the Super Bowl, the promised land. And he had to sing the fight song. I did not send him swag, and I apologize for that, Cole, but you made up for it to singing the fight song. I appreciate you. And you knew the words very, very well. So
I mean, it lives on. It lives on so rent-free in my head. So often do I just, when I'm having a weird day or I just don't know what to do, I just, I just go on my phone and I just play it. It's so beautiful to me. And, it's going to come out right before the season. And speaking of Infinity Stones, Jerry Jones forever, baby. Jerry Jones forever.
Jerry Jones forever, man. Jerry Jones forever. So I want to get on the subjects. I'm so sorry. I mean, we're just bouncing off each other and going off through the conversation. I know I told you 35 minutes. I hope you can stay on longer.
Yeah, it's all good.
But let's get into it, man. So I definitely want to get your opinion on this. Eagles that left this offseason, which one do you think was the most, disappointing person that left, or that's going to hurt us the most? You let me know. And I want to talk about players and coaches.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm looking at the list, CJ is going to be the popular guy because it just happened and he was kind of a big story this offseason. But if you're going to talk about the biggest guy that's leaving the team and what his impact is, it's Javon Hargrave. I mean, obviously to me, like that guy, he's an interior pass rusher that gets double-digit sacks and he's still got plenty left in the tank. I mean, you look at how this team is built. There's no reason he can't do that again. And like those guys are incredibly hard to find. And frankly, I think San Francisco got a deal paying him $20 million a year. It's like really? for whatever his contract was, it wasn't enough. I mean, that guy is a top of the line interior. I feel
like I'm different. Well, shout out to my wife, Vince. You know my wife. You met my wife. Yeah. My wife is a Niner fan. And my wife, she just keeps on rubbing in my damn face every damn time she sees it. She like played the video, she posted it, she tagged me, and I'm like, yo, this is you getting back to me because we kicked your ass in the NFC Championship. But I'm gonna say this, man, and I was a big Hargrave fan, but I feel like Howie got Hargrave on a great deal for the $13 million per year. He played great, but he was terrible against the run. He get blown off the line every goddamn time. Yes, you can go ahead and be a defensive tackle and be great and rushing through the middle, you know what I'm saying, and getting to the quarterback. But take away them 12 sacks, we still have 70-something sacks.
Take away them 12 sacks is what you just said. I mean, 12
sacks.
Away.
Brandon Graham just went his whole career and finally got to double digits. Like he's doing that every year. I can't be like, yeah, we're better off without that guy.
I'm not saying we're better off without him. I'm just saying. But like he's a defensive tackle that he was terrible against the run. That's why we went and got Linderville Joseph and Sue. He was terrible.
It's not his job.
I think that was more of a reaction to Davis getting hurt. But guys, let's not forget what our former defensive coordinator said. If he would have let Hassan Reddick rush the quarterback, he'd have like 100 sacks. So we're just going to let Reddick pick up all that production. We should be good, right?
Hey. Derek Barnett's coming back.
So take a couple sacks away.
Yeah, is he gonna have more sacks or penalties?
I was waiting for one of y'all to joke about it.
That was such a damning thing for Sirianni to get caught saying that. But I mean, the truth is the truth, right? It'll set you free.
Oh yeah, we all know.
He ain't lying. I'm glad someone finally had said it.
So Reed, you tell me who would you think out of that? I mean, let me go ahead and pull it back up. Out of that whole, coaches, players, who is going to be the most devastating loss to the Philadelphia Eagles?
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's the guys in the middle that I think is gonna hurt us the most. Like,
thank you, TJ, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, bro, like we've seen the greatness that was already. Like, we know it. Like, even just worst case scenario, say Slay's not as great this season, and and just say Bradbury stays the same, and say Maddox stays healthy. Like the back end wasn't giving up too much anyway, so that should pretty much stay the same. It was really the middle of the field that was killing us this season, and I mean in the Super Bowl that was what was killing us aside from a ghost flag for a false hold. But
I get the whole TJ. I get the whole TJ thing where he didn't play great in the Super Bowl. I get it. He really didn't. Kaiser White, he was terrible against the pass in the middle of the season. He was getting lit up in that Saints game, but I'm glad they let him go. He got his deal with Arizona. TJ got his deal, and then I am excited for Nakobe Dean. I am. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm excited for him.
I'm excited. I am too. I
am excited. I feel like he's going to get his turn. And we went back, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the draft, just a little bit, because I want to get on to the current things that's going on. But with the draft, and I keep on saying this, I'm going to keep on saying it, it's imperative to me. I want Howie to draft guys that are going to contribute this year, not next year, not 2 years from now. I'm tired of the red shirt shit. I'm tired of it. I want guys that's going to get a pick. Hey, you're coming to Philadelphia. You're going to play. I'm tired of the whole red shirt. Last year, I get it. We had a great roster. That was just great. But I just feel like we have to start drafting to get, let's put some productivity into the field now. Not a year, 2 years later.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, look, they're going to have a lot of time with the defensive line to rotate guys in, whoever they bring. So you got to figure they're going to draft somebody. I don't know if it's going to be DN, D tackle, both. And we'll see. I mean, I don't think linebackers locked up at all. That's definitely wide open next to Nakobe. So we'll see how all that goes. So I think there's going to be a lot of room there just in the secondary. Like the defense in general, I think there's a lot of room. Offensive line's offense as a whole is pretty much locked in.
Right.
Yeah. The only thing that people really complain about is wide receiver 3, and honestly, I'd rather have a second and tight end than a third wide receiver. So
thank you.
I don't understand it though. I don't understand the whole quest. Hey, I get it. Yes, run your routes, run them. Just because you don't think you're going to get the ball and you ease up. I mean, let's be honest. If he would have caught that, if he would have ran his route, that's the touchdown in the Super Bowl, right? I get it. But I don't think that's a third wide receiver is needed. And I agree with you. Tight end is needed. I like Stroll. I like him. I like Stroll. But I think a tight end is needed.
It's supposed to be a great class too, from everything I'm hearing. It's a great class.
You got Myers. You got Myers from Notre Dame. You got Kincaid. I mean, he spells his name wrong. I was going to put that out there.
That's a shame.
I was going to put that out. From Utah, not from New Jersey. And then you got the other bull from Washington from Georgia. And that he's a secret weapon. You imagine putting Washington in this offense, and he's considered another offensive lineman and can run a little bit of routes and catch the ball. I mean, people are trying to compare him to Jason Peters, but that's even here or there, right?
Yeah, I know Peters. Hey, did you see Peters field that one punt like in 2015 or whatever it was? You remember what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So who knows? Maybe he is the same as Washington. But yeah, it's like the Eagles are great at identifying talent there. They've always invested in it. They do a great job. Like, think about this. I mean, Ertz was in his prime when they drafted Goddard. So what's the problem? Like, tight ends are undervalued, man. I mean, that's one of the biggest things that I think Howie gets and why they are invested in tight ends and do well with it all the time, because those guys get paid like $14 million a year and a top receiver's making double that. So why wouldn't you do that? Like that, everything. And by the way, receivers don't block the same way a tight end does. I'd rather have an elite tight end.
Unless you're Zach Pascal, that one hurt.
I'm bummed that he's
that one hurt. Zach Pascal hurt. I really wanted him back in Philly.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be back. I'm pretty shocked about that. So yeah, like they're going to have
you going to be an op like Zach. You just going to be an op and then switch up. I thought Nick was your guy. You going to be an op and go with John Gannon.
When I heard he was out here screaming in people's faces, running routes, I was like, I love this guy. Like a madman on the field, just unhinged, like doing the craziest shit. You're like, what the fuck's going on?
That's funny.
So I one thing I want to. So all right, I gotta ask this because I see especially Cozy. Shout out our boy.
Yo,
Cozy.
Shout out to the chat, man. Y'all got this motherfucker booming. Appreciate y'all.
It's been wild tonight. It's been fun.
I do have to ask because I know it's gonna be a thing because we have the top 10 pick and then we also have the number 30.
Oh, here
is there an absolute Vince Quinn?
Oh,
do you believe? And I think you know what I'm about to ask.
I think I do.
Especially now because I was hard on the cornerback in the first round but now that we have it's not necessarily a long term it's not a short term need. It is going to be a long term need, so maybe we can address it either later in the draft or possibly next season. So I think cornerback might be out of the first round talks. Do you believe and are you on the Bijan train?
Well, it's been
Here
fun.
It goes.
It's been fun. Thanks for having me.
Here it goes.
Not a chance. Why on earth would I go and invest in a running back in the first round? What did we talk about 10 minutes ago? Oh, the Giants paid Saquon. Isn't this dumb? Like, it's the same thing. The whole point of a first-round pick is you want to get a guy that's not just great and cheap for the first 5 years, but it's a guy that you want to extend into the second part of his career and get him through his prime. If you're not going to do that with a running back, don't draft one. You don't value it enough. You know what I mean? If you're not willing to pay for an elite player at that position, don't draft him in the first round. Don't do it. So I would refuse. I mean, I can't imagine how he does it anyway. But if they drafted Bijan, especially at 10, I would blow a gasket. I'd absolutely lose it. I mean, I'd be flipping tables and I'd be a disaster. So no, absolutely not.
Yeah, tell me that was no ball. That was no ball. Nigga, listen.
I'm with you, man. I hear you. I don't think it's worth the resources. Even though I know you're not on the Rasaad Penny wave either, but
no, he's an injured running back. Why? I don't know why people are so excited to get an injured running back that Seattle didn't want. Like, they're like, oh, he's doing all these big plays and all. That's not a big play offense. They let that guy walk. They drafted him in the first round. We're looking at this guy now going, yeah, this is great. He's a running back that doesn't play. So I don't know why I'm supposed to be excited about that move. I really don't get it.
I hear you. Like, in my opinion, it's totally like the age-old tale. If a guy's on another team, he sucks. As soon as he comes to your team, it's like, oh, yeah, did you know he was a former first-round pick? Oh, this guy, he did this many yards after the – oh, yeah, no. It's like, no, bro. Let's keep the same song, same tune as when he was over there. Now that he's over here, I don't think it's – look, I think we're going to get somebody maybe later in the rounds. You know, I think what's his name is still unknown. Not Hargrave. What's my man that the other running back we have? For
the Eagles right now, Kenny?
Yeah, Gainwell. We got Gainwell. He's kind of an unknown still, but I mean, bro, when Miles seemed like he was kind of faltering a little, Gainwell seemed like he came on towards the end of the season. So
I like Gainwell. I'm gonna tell you a running back to look out for. Carbonate from UCLA. I like him. I like the running back. My goodness, I can't think on top of my head. I'm drawing a little blank. Oh my goodness.
Cool. Or anything. Give me anything about him.
Alabama.
Oh, Alabama. What's his name? Yeah, everybody wants him in the first round too. Jameer Gibbs.
I don't want him in the first round. I think it'll be a second round.
Yeah, well, every running back should be in the second round. So let's clarify that for everybody at home.
Kenny G.
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, I went through because I was hearing it was a good running back class, and I'm like, all right, let me start watching highlights of guys and see what's up. I like almost the entire class, and I'm not even kidding. Like I watched like 25 guys, and I was legitimately like, I would draft this guy. I would draft this guy. I would draft this guy.
Yeah.
And I went through the whole list. I think there's plenty of guys in this draft that you could get like 6th round, 7th round, because it's just so deep that those guys are going to fall, and they could contribute right away and be a solid RB2. Like I just, that's the thing. So like Penny, I mean, ultimately it doesn't cost you much. And so, like, I don't know, maybe whenever he gets injured, he's back in time for the Super Bowl. But outside of that, I mean, give me a guy that's going to play, and you can get all these guys that are available. And it's just like, I would take it's going to be almost impossible for me to be upset with a running back that they take in this draft, unless it's Bijan at 10 or 30. That's the only way I get upset.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to say this, though. When you're drafting a running back in the first round, you're going to end up just like the Cowboys. You know what I mean? You're not going to be able to pay them. Somebody younger is going to come in, and you're going to be like, oh, well, we want to invest everything in him. And then we're screwed. You know what I mean? And then you're going to end up going and getting Ronald Jones, and he can – you don't know if he wants to play football or not. And so it's – man. The running back position is devalued. I mean, I think everybody is putting Bijan Robinson into the Christian McCaffrey thing. I did hear that the Eagles really wanted Christian McCaffrey, but he wasn't going to survive. I think he was the 4th pick of the first round, something like that.
He was pretty early, and
he was early. He was early. I mean,
and
he was definitely a difference maker. But I just don't see them paying. When the year goes by, dwindling, you're running back down to the ground. You're paying 17, 11, whatever, somewhere in that for a running back. That's crazy.
I mean,
it's crazy. Because real quick, like, think about this too with Dallas, right? Zeke's getting replaced by Tony Pollard. What was he, 4th round?
4th round.
He's better. He's a better run, and now they're in this weird spot because now he wants to get paid because he's on a team where another running back has gotten paid, and he's like, yeah, I should be making what he's making, and they can't come to a deal, and now they got to tag him. So like they're in this weird mess, but it's because they overvalue running backs. And
broken leg, Tony Pollard too. Broken leg.
Oh yeah, man. Hate to see it happen, but
definitely.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but he's great. He's a really good player.
Is. And I used to tell Cowboy fans like this happening, just being, not being biased. I felt like I said Tony Pollard fits your offense way better than Zeke. Because they ran Zeke to the ground.
Well,
that whole ground
and pound the league already with a lot of tread on his.
Exactly. Ohio State ran him to the ground as well. Like you got to think about it. The shelf life of a running back is what, 3 years? We seen that. You know what I mean? We got rid of Shady, and we bring in Murray, and Chip start running them east and west instead of running them south and north. I don't know what happened to that.
Oh, you're talking about the Legion of Zoom?
Yeah, the Legion of Zoom. They started. They really believed. They really believed in them juices and the smoothies and sleeping and brain activity when you're sleeping. Shit. I don't know what it was.
I fell for that just as much as I fell for the.
Oh, I fell for that. You know what else I fell for? The 3-man weave in the Chip Kelly.
I fell for the 3-man weave. I fell for the protein shakes. I fell for the Chip make the deal.
And as you walk us through Chip make the deal, it's been 8 years and counting. We finally got him, Marcus Mariota. He is the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, backing up our guy, that man, breed of one, Jalen Hurts.
Which Vince Quinn, you did call. You did call for this.
You did call this. You sure did. You did call this.
Nailed it. Yeah, this was like
John. How does John feel about this? I gotta ask him a question about John. How does he feel about this one?
Oh, John loves
he
hated it at first, I think, in part because I was right. But outside of that, I think part of because here's the thing for him. I mean, John's been talking about a QB system, the 2 QB system, for as long as I've known him.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing him talk about that to me for like 6-7 years now, at least it feels like. So for him, he's always been like, yeah, you got to get these other guys in there and you can do all this crazy stuff. And he's right. It's just nobody has the guts to do it. The closest thing you've ever seen is Taysom Hill. But look, I don't see why not. I mean, the only problem is if you're going to have a guy like Mariota and he's in it, say, running back next to Jalen Hurts, and you're going to do all this RPO stuff and you can really mess with people, then you got to have a great third running back or quarterback as well, because your second guy
not Ian Book. Please, not Ian Book.
Yeah, not Ian Book. All right, here was a guy that I actually threw out to John earlier today. Cam Newton. Oh, QB3, Cam Newton.
I actually like it. I like it.
That's
See,
light skin drama. That's light skin drama.
Well, I was going to say that's the only
first, but he's in Tim. Okay.
On the personal side, I hate it, but for play style and I mean, as a veteran guy, I love it. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, come on, because we're talking about Jalen is literally Cam 2.0, right? Like he just doesn't. The thing that messed Cam up is taking all the big shots, and what Jalen doesn't do is take a lot of big shots. So, but we did see it in the Chicago game. He did take a big hit, and we did see him get taken out for a couple games.
Yeah, I mean, look, for Cam, I know it's kind of a weird fit, and he's dying to get back into the league. It's look,
I mean, he held hostage through Auburn's pro day today or yesterday. He held hostage.
Yeah.
He threw his own pro day with his little brother at Auburn.
Yeah. I didn't know he had a little brother. That's okay.
Yeah, right. I didn't know he had a little brother either.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's not necessarily my first choice, but man, like there's not many guys that are available. And if you're going to do some crazy stuff like that, which you could with Mariota,
you got one guy available.
Oh,
Carson Wentz.
Oh
no. So wait.
No. I'm saying this because I want Rico to drink 3 full locals.
So we have a bet right now. I have gone on the record and said that Carson Wentz his NFL career is over. Like I think the next uniform he'll wear might be like the XFL or something like that. I don't know, maybe the Canadian League, something.
He'll be a dragon.
His NFL career is done.
He'll be a dragon.
If he ends up if he does, I said, but in the event that Carson Wentz, I bet that if Carson Wentz comes back to the actual NFL on a team and he's on a roster opening day, I will have to chug a Four Locos live on the stream, which sounds, it will be a lot, but I will do that because I am that confident that this man's career is absolutely done, which breaks my heart because a lot of if you know me personally, guys, you guys know I have a beautiful white husky, big white husky, one blue eye, one brown eye, and I got this dog 4.5 years ago, as right before my son was born, and I said his name is Wentz, so I have a dog named Wentz, and it literally it just wants to shit after that, and now I have a dog named Wentz, and Wentz's career is over. I try to change the dog's name. It doesn't work. He only responds to Wentz.
Well, for what it's worth, I guarantee you, there's people with kids out there named Carson. So like, I mean, good luck. Yeah. Good luck. Somebody had like a Super Bowl baby, and that kid's named Carson. So like,
sure. I remember. Shout out to Mark. Mark's license plate says Wentz Wagon. I was like,
oh, he does have that. Yeah, he does.
Damn.
That car's in the shop a lot, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. Then I went on a cruise that year. in 2017 after we won, right? I go on a cruise. It's my birthday. I'm 35. I turned 35. I'm aging myself. I'm damn near 40 now. And I go on this cruise, and I swear to God, I see this guy. We're at a karaoke machine. We're at the karaoke club. We're having a fun time. My wife's like, babe, that guy looks like Carson Wentz. And I took a picture with him. I was like, yo, this is the future. This is the future. And I look at that picture on my phone, and I just go, damn. What happened? What happened? But I really want Rico to drink the Four Locos so he can be the Puerto Rican Peter Griffin on the podcast. I just I want him to hurt himself and go.
I'll even pull my I'll even pull my Wentz jersey out of the old stash and do it if I have to. But I'm very confident that this deal is not going to have to be paid because that dude is done, man. It's so crazy. Like because at the time when we saw him playing at that Super Bowl season, I thought we were looking at the next like Tom Brady.
Me too.
Yeah, I thought he was the man. I mean, I was bugging out because, like, I remember when I first started trying to figure out who the hell was in the draft that year, and I saw Wentz, and I'm like, man, this is the guy. And I thought he was going to be around at 13, and then he started to rise up the boards, and they move up and get him, and it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I was so excited, man, and for things to go the way they did. I mean, look, it's tough, and it's so crazy because, like, Philly's been at the center of this with two of the biggest cases you can ever see. But to have Wentz and Simmons both completely fall apart as top picks that had success, I mean, it's just the mental side of this and the fact that people who are just, not everybody's built to do this. And a lot of times you see it on smaller scales, right? It's just, hey, this guy was talented, but he didn't fully have it together. He was taken in the 4th round, whatever. And it just turns out they're not mentally tough enough or whatever. And they just wash out, but nobody cares. So to see guys be successful because they are smart. And they do have a lot of talent, but the mental toughness just isn't there. I mean, it's a wild thing to see. I think part of that is Philly and just the Philly experience, but that's how it is. I mean, look, people care about it, and that's what makes it so popular. That's what makes this league such a big deal. That's what makes it such a lucrative contract. So that's the game you play. It's just, man. I mean, what an unbelievable thing to see. I never would have thought it happened.
No, the kid was cursed from that one tweet that he put out. That was to Ben Simmons. What did he say? That tweet is like, "Hey Ben Simmons, we got to take the
young buck Jaleel Okafor," or he tweeted Jaleel.
Yup.
For a cheesesteak, which is just like,
oh man, yo, shout out to Jaleel Okafor. I remember seeing him when I was back home in Cherry Hill at the Chipotle. He had like 2 burritos. Right, I said, son, you can't be eating 2 burritos, man. You can't be making 2 burritos, bro. Like, you need to get your ass in the gym.
Oh man, if I was his size, I'd order 4.
Vince, I do not a direct Eagles question, but I do want to. I do have a question. How did you and John end up and Taylor all end up like linking up?
Shout out to Taylor, man. That's my man.
Taylor, shout out to John. Shout out to Bell and the Birdman, bro. I have to say, I remember when you guys first kicked it off, man, and I was so excited because, obviously, like, it was a really weird thing. We all know when all of a sudden we stopped hearing the "what's going on," John's whole, and I missed that. And then all of a sudden here comes Bell and the Bird, and boom, it's back, and then here you are, and it's the energy that surrounds you guys' pod is 1 in a million, bro.
I love it, man. I love it.
I love it. I think if you guys weren't even talking about Eagle shit, like, you could be talking about literally anything, I'd be tuning in every week. And
just don't talk about glizzies anymore, man.
No more glizzy talk.
No more glizzy talk, man.
So how did it all? How did you guys like link up and end up getting this thing going? Like, it's amazing.
Man, the world works in crazy ways, right? Like, it's just unbelievable how the whole thing came together because, we all started as radio guys. I mean, we met at WIP. That's our background. Like, for John, he was a podcaster first and then got into radio, and I happen to be there.
And I don't mean to interrupt. But John has an amazing commercial voice. So I just want to put that out there.
Oh, yeah, and he did commercials, like, because he should. If he was working at a station like that and you don't have him voicing your commercials, like, well, enjoy the fine Bud Lights. You know what I mean? Like, with whatever his voice of God, like, of course. So, like, but that's how we met, and then we were doing all this stuff together because we just have the same kind of energy, like. The problem is with me and John that we've got these ideas about things, and we're like, all right, here's this little thing. It's like this big, and it's just this little small idea, and then it's suddenly this big, and I'm breaking everything in my apartment, and that's how it goes. Like that's it, man. Like, we're crazy people. So it's having the two of us together. I don't even know if you guys can hear me because I just threw the damn mixer across the room.
No, I heard everything, man.
I can't hear you guys. Oh, because my headphones came out. So that's how it is for me. But, like, we had this crazy energy together, so I'll plug those back in, and we're doing all this stuff, and it's like, okay, so we were doing that years ago, and then, like, things went a little crazy, and we were on our own for a little bit, and I was doing some national radio, and I thought that's where I was going to be. Like, I thought that's what I was just going to do for the rest of my life. And then the pandemic happens, and they're like, hey, how about you don't come in and do shows anymore? And I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm not going to have a future in radio the way that I thought, or I don't feel quite as comfortable in the future of this as I thought. And me and John had always been talking about, like, hey, how can we do something like just having a course? Like, we were such nuts about, like, just being at the studio all the time. Like, the number of times that John would finish a show or I would finish a show, and it's like 4 a.m, and we bump into each other because one of us is working on something just on our own on like a Friday night. It happened all the time. So like we were just too similar as much as we're different in a lot of ways. And like we just bonded over that, and we always kept in touch. And we had a chance to go and launch a studio and do all this other crazy stuff, and here we are.
Bro, that's so dope, man, just to see, because, you know, you miss John for being the previous thing. And then, you know, Vince, you were popping up doing things here and there or whatever. And then, you know, shout out to Liquid Death, and then everything that you guys, I mean, you guys got me into drinking Liquid Death. I mean, I still have my box. My box is right over there. Like the artwork is crazy on the box too as well. But like, you guys were like, I remember I told you when we had a conversation with you at the bar. I'm like, bro, like you guys were the ones that inspired, you know, me and Reek to be like, yo, we're gonna team up and we're gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, with both your charisma and the personalities and my personality, I'm outgoing. You know that. You met me. I'm outgoing. I'm out there. So, and then Reek's like, he's chill. He's got the hey poppy, smooth Puerto Rican vibe joint going on. You know what I'm saying? Cool on the other side of the pillow. And I'm out here like, yo, like I'm the big black guy. And people are afraid of me, but as soon as I open my mouth, they like, hey, hi, how you doing? So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know, with you guys, man, is just, it's something that's just dope. And you guys got something that's like, it's just magical when y'all come together, man. I love it. I tune in every week, and you know, we've had this conversation.
No, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to give you flowers too, man.
Facts. Gotta give the flowers, man.
Gotta give you your flowers because I mean, you're a big reason that this podcast happens is because I honestly do. I mean it. Up until seeing you guys get on and do your thing, it was I think podcasts and even like sports talk was really buttoned up, and like it wasn't this fun thing. You had like there's outlier, but you guys really just. I was like, wow. I'll never forget when you got your first episode and you guys came out and I was like, wow, this is fun. Like I'm as a listener, I'm having fun. And I think me and King found each other maybe not even a full year later or so. And we just started same thing, kind of just chatting fandom back and forth. And then we actually meet in person. And then it's like, yeah, let's do this thing, bro. And you guys were definitely helped us build a blueprint on how we wanted to go ahead and do things ourselves. So my hat is off to you guys, and I appreciate you guys because I think you helped me feel more comfortable about my Eagles fandom and wanting to talk about it. And here we are today. You know, it's like this is really a full circle moment for the both of us right now. So thank you. And
bro, but you should have seen his face when I said, yo, Vince agreed to do a pod. He's like, what? He's like, yo, we got something special going on. I said, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, it's one thing to have a convo in a bar and we're talking shit back and forth, and that's all well and good. But to come to this is like it's a whole different thing. So yeah, I was excited.
I was excited too. I mean, it was like, yeah, I can come on and talk to you guys. I haven't seen you in a while. I feel like it's going to be fun. Like this has been great, and your energy's great, guys. I mean, honestly, just to be able to sit here, like I got shit to do, to be honest with you. Like I'm going to the mountains tomorrow. I got to pack my stuff up. I got to finish Mad Men. I'm on the last episode of season 6. I'd watch it. Like, but I've just been hanging out. I've been having a great time. Like, it's great to hang with you guys. Your energy's awesome. Like, the back and forth of it is so much fun. I've had a great time with you out at the bars. So to be able to do all this is like super cool. And the fact that what we've done actually means something to you is really cool, man. I mean, because for me, like, coming from all that buttoned up stuff, I mean, I remember one time. So this is the one thing that really sticks with me is I was doing a show early. And I got brought into the office, and I was getting a little bit of a talking to, because what happened was at some point during my show, I forget the context of it, but at some point I brought up that Catholic weddings are boring, and they did not take that very kindly, and I got chewed out for saying that on the radio, and I'm like, what? You ever been to a Catholic wedding?
But they really are, though.
They really are, bro.
Boring. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
football, you know.
Get into whatever you want to do with the religious element and sacraments and how you feel about it. It's fine, but like if you're going to tell me it's an engaging ceremony, it's not. So I got bored and like I talked about it and I got in trouble for it. It's like it's also silly, you know. I just want to be honest. I just want to have a fun conversation. Like for me, I'm not a diehard homer. John has a little more of that energy than I do. You know, and for me, I'm kind of a league guy, and it gets me in trouble a lot. But you know what? Fuck it. It's how I feel. So like, it's just good to be able to have those conversations and know that people care about it because we put a lot of work into it, and it's crushing at times. But to know that people are actually enjoying it means a lot. So thank you guys for having me on, and just thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it.
Oh, most definitely.
Well, you're
like
gonna love how Mad Men ends, just so you know.
Oh God, I got one season left after this, man. We've been blazing through it.
I love that. It's such a great show. I tell my wife all the time, like she saw me watching. She's like, you just love it because that's how you want life to be. Like you go to work, you have a drink at 8 a.m, you lay down on your couch and you're off it.
Chain smoke cigarettes for 10 years.
Yeah, they weren't harmful back then.
Yeah, that's the 90s though, bro. Everybody smoked. Everybody smoked a little.
No, Mad Men is like the 20s, so like it was.
That's right. I'm sorry,
60s, 70s, yeah.
But yo, Vince, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for jumping on. You know, I mean, blessings with your time. You know, is this like I said, I appreciate the opportunity. You know what I'm saying, that you come in and, you know, like I said, we were at the bar, we were talking. John, I was talking to you and John, and then what was crazy though, you guys knew me from Twitter. You were like, oh yeah, your fucking picture with the crown on it. I was like, yeah, that's me.
And then I'm in your Discord, so John, when I said the name, John was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we've got some.
Of course.
So I mean, and you know, and every time I see you guys, y'all show me mad love. So especially in Houston, y'all was like, Tim, what are you doing here? Like, I'm you know, it was just dope. So I appreciate everything, man, and I know you got things to do. So we're gonna slide out. I appreciate you. Hopefully this isn't the last time that you join the Swoop Boys podcast. We'll have more to talk about, especially draft time. Can you please tell the audience? I'm pretty sure they know who you are, but go ahead and tell the audience, so, you know, where they can find you and what's going on.
Well, yeah. So easiest way to find me, just look up Bell and the Birdmen. Like, just go check that out. bellandthebirdmen.com. We've got a Discord, so you can go hang out in there. It's always busy and crazy in there. Honestly, it doesn't matter the time or the day or whatever. Like, I've hopped in there sometimes. It's like 3 a.m. on a Saturday. I kid you not. People like, but Miles Sanders in this game against that, you know, and it's like, oh my God, like you guys are nuts. I love it. So it's always a crazy time. Yeah, Poppy's stirring the pot. So it's bellandthebirdmen.com is how you can go and check out all that stuff. But more importantly, support these guys. Keep hanging out with these guys. Keep in the comments crazy. I'm so happy you guys are doing this. And I'm happy to be on again. We'll figure it out for sure.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, man. I'm definitely gonna have you doing a season or before the season, or we gotta do something or a draft reaction. I would definitely, you and John. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, man. And hey, thank you to the chat. Thank you for everybody. And there you go. Cozy said follow on IG and Twitter.
Thank you.
Hey.
But yeah, man, you got any last words, Ray?
Don't draft a running back. Oh, I skipped it. I'm hopping in first. Don't draft a running back. Okay, I'm going to die on that hill. That's my last thing I'm going to say. Don't draft a running back in the first round. It's ridiculous.
Okay.
My last thoughts is Nakobe Dean tackled 3 people at one time, guys. He's okay. Trust me. The kid will be all right.
Right. Sixers won, so I'm gonna play that music.
Play it. Play the freaking song.
There we go. Hey, we
appreciate y'all.
Hey, Swoop Squad, we appreciate y'all. We all we got. We all we need.
Yes, sir. Yo, win or lose or draw, man. Go Birds. We out.
Send them out with that post.
Yo.